Welcome to Cool Coder. In today's video, we are going to learn about the Springboard, which is widely used frameworks of Java. So, without wasting the time, let's get started. As you can see in my screen, I have written the Springboard architectures. So, I'm going to explain you about the Springboard architecture. In today's video, we know Spring framework is widely used over industries. It's reputed MNC companies also using the Spring Boot. So it is essential to know about the Spring Boot. So I think everyone is here is a fresher. So as freshers point of view, I'm going to explain you about the Spring Boot architecture. So Spring Boot is a module of a Spring framework. It is used to create some standalone application, production grade and applications with minimum efforts of development. You can create some web-based applications using Spring Boot also. Spring Boot follows some type of layered architecture and each layer communicate with each others. So you can see in next slide. These are the four main basic layers of Spring Boot architectures, which is communicate with each other directly or indirectly. The four layers consist of presentation layer, business layer, persistent layers, and the database layers. So, presentation layers is the topmost layer of Spring Boot architectures. It handles the HTTP client request and translate the JSON parameters, whatever we are sending to the APIs, which we gonna create in Spring Boot applications. That request is handled by presentation layers. Business layer, we have business logic, or we can say we have some authorization types inside. Business layers handles all business related logics. It consists of a service classes which is used to provide the different services to access the data layer, and it also performs the authorization and validation. In the presentation layers contains all the storage related logic, which is come from database. And in database is the layer where we use our CRUD operations. I'm going to show you on next video how we create a CRUD operation using Spring Boot from scratch. Uh, in database, we perform the CRUD operation with the help of some known databases. I think you might be aware about MySQL, MongoDB, etc. Cassandra. These are the database which you can use. Or Spring may have by default database, H2 database also. So you will use that database to perform the CRUD operations in Spring. These are the layers which is used by Spring to communicate with each other. Like presentation layers, it's communicated with business layer, it's communicated with persistence layer, and the persistence layer, it's communicated with database. So how the data flow is going to happen in Spring? This will this will you know in next slide. When we have suppose we have one client, as you can see on my screen, my mouse is the cursor is there. So we have client. When client makes an HTTP request, the request goes to control, which is nothing but a presentation layer, which handles our all HTTP requests. So controller see what kind of request it is or what APIs they are demanding. So the request goes to controller to service layer. Service layer is nothing but our business layer. In business layer we have some business logics and services. Here we have one module, don't worry. Module is nothing but a POJO classes, plain old Java objects, which is nothing known as a model, entity, or main class. Service class have a repository classes, which is nothing but our interface where with the help of that interface we are going to access a JPA CRUD repository. So service classes have the connections with persistence layer, and also service class is connected with database model, which is nothing to Pojo class, which is connected to a database, because when the user makes a request, or suppose we have one student class and we don't have a student inside it, so with the help of service layer we write down the logic how to add the project, how to add the student inside a database. So for that we have model class who works with service layer, and whatever the logic we have written inside the service layer, it goes to model. With the help we goes used to model objects and assign the data to a database. And through a database, we can retrieve with the help of get, update, and post method. We can retrieve the data and send back to controller, and controller send back to the client with the help of different client request parameter, like different parameters we can assign to get the data. So it's nothing but a Springboard flowchart diagram. As I said, in service where we have all business related logics, it performs magic logics on the data is mapped with JPA class. JPA class is nothing but our model class, which have our Pojo classes inside. So I'm going to give you some overview about STS also. Let me open the STS. Just click on launch. We have to be patient while opening STS. STS is an IDE which is used to develop Springboard applications. You may have some different IDEs also, but I'm familiar and more efficient in STS and IntelliJ. Currently, I don't have IntelliJ in my PC, so I'm using STS. As you can see on my STS ID, I have created my first Spring Boot project. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you how you can create the project, but I just want to give an overview about it, so that's why I have already created it. Inside my first project, we have a couple of sections like SRC main Java, SRC main resource, SRC test slash Java, some Java libraries, some Maven libraries. Then again we have SRC. Inside it we have main and test. Again we have target, help, and all these things. The main fact is not about creating Spring project is form.xml. Is that what we need? We have heard many times dependency injections, dependency injection. This is what form.xml means. If you want to add something dependency, if you want to add dependency, like I have created a project which has some default dependencies like Spring Web, then it have only one dependency. If you want to add other dependencies like MySQL dependency, you just type go to MySQL part, copy the dependencies part from internet, and you just paste it home and just refresh the project. You may have dependencies for project. So inside src.main.java, we have package, and inside that we have our first applications, which have a main method inside it and which use Spring applications to run our applications. Then inside src.main we have static templates and properties. Inside static we can create index.html pages and whatever the templates we are going to use in our project, whether it is related to CSS or some UI front-end technologies, we can put that into a statics and templates folder. In again, we have applications.properties. Here we have write down all logic related to database, like what kind of database we are using, what are their passwords, what are their target texture, or whether you are using Hibernate or not. Application.properties consist of all logic related to a Springboard security. This is an overview about Springboard applications. If you like that video, yes, I forget to tell you about SRC test Java. Inside that we have my first project application.test. If you open that, you may get some test and we get some methods for it. You just have to write down the methods name and you have to test with the help of JU. If you get all the test cases executed successfully, then you may see on JUnit console that all is going to happen in very smooth way. Whatever you have written till now is going to execute properly. So initially Spring Boot works on Tomcat. So we don't added Tomcat to our folder. So SRC in Maven we get a Tomcat libraries, like you can see here. Spring Boot starter Tomcat, which is provided by default to Spring. We don't added any dependencies. Just let me show you how you are going to create a project. Just click on File, New, then Spring Starter Project. It will redirect you to starter.spring.io. You can directly go to the Chrome and search for that website and you may create a project. But let the project as my project again. I will choose type as a Maven. We have Maven and Gradle as a type. You may choose any one of them. Packaging is as a var or jar. So I will choose it as a jar. Java version you can choose 17 and choose 17. Language Java Kotlin. Group ID is nothing but package name. Artifact ID is same as your project name. Description, it's my demo project for Spring Boot application. Package name is same as well. I click on next. It may ask me to add some dependencies. Recently I have added dependencies for Spring Boot. Now I'm going to add another dependencies from MySQL. Inside a SQL you can see a MySQL driver. Yeah, I'm happy with the two. Depending on our requirement we can add dependencies. We have different kind of dependencies available. So click on next and just click on finish. It will take some time to get started with our input, like we are using jar file, so it may take a couple of times to import the project in Spring tool suite. As you see on progress tab, our project is getting unzipped in STS, so we will wait for it. As you can see, the project is imported in STS IDE. So I'm going to show you its form.xml. So we will see the whether the whatever dependencies we add into it, it's there. We have added web dependency. So the web dependency is here. And we also added MySQL dependency. You can see a MySQL dependencies here. If you want to change your database from MySQL to MongoDB, you just need to add relevant dependencies for MongoDB, and it will be work for MongoDB as well. Thank you.